It's the Brad and John Show.
It is the Brad and John Show. Today's date is the 13th of January. It's a Tuesday. So happy it's Tuesday, and this is the C Block, the Charlie Block. John, anything you want to bring up in the C Block right now? I've got a couple things to talk about.
No, get into your list, Brad.
First off, we talked about the situation yesterday with the Cardinals no longer being on the FanDuel Sports Network. Got a couple interesting texts on that. And then I gave the Babylon Bee story, which a lot of people found interesting, which was the joke about the fact that the NFL games are now going to be moving quarter by quarter. Did I say that right? Quarter by quarter? Did I give my R in the quarter?
Quarter by quarter. Quarter by quarter.
Quarter by quarter on the various streaming platforms. And, man, I tell you what, this thing is who'd have ever thunk that what happened to this? Remember the good old days? Remember the good old days when you and I were young and Channel 5 had the Cardinals game on like once a week, and that was always like, appointment viewing for me because I was a big baseball fan back then. What's that?
If you're lucky. But also, I also remember the days where you couldn't by any means watch a Cardinals home game because they were all blacked out.
Right. They would only televise the road games. They would never do a home game. And they never do a home game. And it was always interesting to me because my dad was not a big fan of Ron Jacober. And my dad, when he would watch the Cardinals baseball, and Ron Jacober, since he was the Channel 5 news or sports director, and he would do the play-by-play on Channel 5, my dad would just like, oh, where did they get this guy? And it was funny because sometimes they would have the guest announcer being Jack Buck, and Jack Buck would unmercifully rib Jay Randolph on the broadcast. Do you remember those?
I do remember, yeah. I mean, when I think of the earliest days of watching baseball, which is the mid-'80s, I remember Jay. Now, Brad, was your dad still alive when you were able to tell him about your personal interactions with Ron Jacober?
No, yeah, he was. Yeah, he was, but I never said that.
Okay, so you were able to tell him about your disappointing personal interactions with Ron Jacober.
Should I tell the story again?
Yeah, please. It's been probably a year since you told the story.
I always loved Ron Jacober. I thought he was a great sports guy, came across as, a friendly kind of guy, very personable, and, really thought he was a great guy until he became one of the news people at the old KSOK, and I was providing my traffic information. I went down there one day. My boss at the time, my old boss from KSOQ, had taken over the helms of the reins, whatever you want to call it, at KSOK, was now running that place, and they turned it all news, and they were going against KMOX, which didn't last long. They got their butt kicked, but that's a whole other story. And Ron Jacober was one of the morning people, and I went in there to talk to Ron, Ron Grubbs, my old boss, and Ron Jacober was there, and he came up to me and critiqued my traffic reports and was complaining about the grammatical errors and some of the typos in our traffic reports. And, I mean, he was very rude, shall we say? And
yeah, he sounds like an early version of John Combest.
And I essentially informed him, I said, Mr. Jacober, and I did say that, I said, Mr. Jacober, I still remember that. I said, we're trying to get out extremely time-sensitive information, because if we send out a traffic report at 7:50 that the highway is shut down, and at 7:55 the highway is open back up, the 7:50 report is no longer valid anymore. So sometimes we don't have time to, and at the time we're using a very basic computer system. This is back in the 80s. There was no spell check or no grammatical, checking or that kind of stuff. We, cranked it out on the computer, typed real fast, sent it out in the computer system, and there was an update, we sent it. And he just went off on me. I'm going like, okay, he used to be my favorite guy on TV. Not so much anymore. What's the old story? What's the old saying?
Never meet your heroes.
Never meet your heroes, because they'll disappoint you. So that's my Ron.
And then also you left out the point where he complained. Not only did he complain about the grammar that you used, but he also said he looked at the thumbnail and it said the Brad and Bronron show. And he's like, who's Bronron? And he's like, Brad, did you actually look at this before you posted it? And he's like, no, I just posted it. That's what he got mad at you about.
John will.
Little did he know that this AI program you're working on, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's amazing what you learn.
I do it all the time, John. I do more and more of it all the time. Matter of fact, just this morning I was looking at a new site that I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, this thing is getting the AI thing. And to talk about this, I know you're not a Facebook guy, but if you really want to see some funny AI stuff on Facebook, and I don't think this is up on Twitter, there's all sorts of funny AI videos with the 4 monkeys and the goat. You know what I'm talking about, John?
Oh, I have seen some images. Yeah, they look pretty good.
Yeah, the 4 monkeys and the goat. They're everywhere. If you know what we're talking about, well, this is North City. They spotted 4 monkeys and a goat, and the monkeys are moving around in a pack, and the goat seems to be on his or her own, tour guide plan or whatever that is. And some of the AI videos, and there's some of them mostly are pictures, but there's one of them that's got like 3 different scenes where the monkeys are downtown and they're riding on the back of the goat, and then the next thing the monkeys are on the arch grounds and they're riding around on the goat's back. And one of my people that's in my lead group with me, the lady who runs Twin Clover Signs and Graphics, put up a pretty funny video. I mean, actually just a still of the monkeys and the goat taking a selfie. And I commented on that. Hey, thanks for putting up the picture of the Westplex 107 sales team making a sales call in your place, which she found so funny. But
oh, Brad, Shelley doesn't deserve that treatment. Leave her alone. Why don't people, and remind me, why couldn't animal control just go get the monkeys?
They can't find them. And the interesting part of the story, and this is funny that you bring that up, one of the interesting things now is this is a news item. The people in animal control are now complaining about the AI memes because they're saying, we don't know where to look because people will tell us, hey, we saw the monkeys, so-and-so, and it turns out it was a meme. So in other words,
yeah, we saw the monkeys riding the tram up to the top of the arch, and then we went there, and they weren't there.
The animal control people are complaining because there's too many memes, and they're being confused by where the monkeys are. Now, first off, where in the world did the monkeys come from? 4 of them. Where did they come from, John?
I'm guessing they didn't escape from the zoo. Maybe a private collector. And wasn't there a story in Missouri? Wasn't it Southwest Missouri where a woman had an ape or a gorilla or something?
That's not that too far south of us. I think that was down like in Potosi or Peevely or something like that.
That would explain it.
That was the woman, and she got in all sorts of trouble because, she essentially she got sued by it was PETA. Remember, it was either PETA or ASPCA, and she essentially said, she gave up all monkeys, but she still had one. And they raided her place and they found the monkey. So she's in the Gray Bar Hotel now. They threw her in jail. And by the way,
I think they should. She's clearly the primate whisperer. I mean, can't they use her to kind of lure one in? Couldn't she sing a primate siren song and lure the monkeys?
I don't know. By the way, we haven't had a Wendy Nordwald update. Is there anything new going on that?
Yeah, she endorsed a new clothing line.
No, she didn't.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. And you can get it. Actually, I would suggest you don't go to the Walmart website because I know an old guy who told me that it takes an additional click to order the items, but you can get them from Amazon. And they're called the No Way Nordwald. And they're kind of a peekaboo deal at the cleavage. And then when a guy like Brad comes into the assessor's office and you kind of lead him on and flirt with him and print his maps. And then he's like, so it's about lunchtime. Do you want to go? I know a guy that can get you a deal at Snarf It Up. And you just say, no way.
John, my Snarfing Up side is doing great. If you want to have a great meal at the Hawthorne Inn for $25 worth of food for only $12, check out snarfitup.com, snarfitup.com. That's where you go. And it's so
And you
easy.
Can get the deal there. Now, the only problem that I see in Labadee is that they have a fantastic restaurant. But it seems like there's no meeting place. Now, am I mistaken, Brad?
No,
or is there a place to host corporate parties and get-togethers in Labadee?
Right next door. You've got the place right next door that you can rent. And you know what? The food's going to be good because it comes from the Hawthorne Inn. Have you ever heard that before, John? Have you ever heard that?
I haven't heard that before at all. Usually that's delivered in a beautiful voice.
I don't know who that would be.
Well, I know who it is. She might send us a text while we're on the air.
Okay, John, here's one. You ready for this?
Yes.
This will show you what the problem is with men nowadays. Women have gotten so desperate. You heard of the group Rilo Kiley?
No, I haven't.
The lady's name is Jenny Lewis. To celebrate her 50th birthday, she got married. But you know who she married?
An animal.
She married her dog.
Oh, are you serious? I was being facetious. Okay, she married a dog because she's a dog mom. I guess that would not make her a dog mom because that would be kind of gross. But okay, so So is this some sort of like, men aren't nothing, I'd rather marry a dog?
I think so. Over the weekend, Jenny Lewis took to social media and shared Polaroid photos of herself in a wedding gown, veil, and a bouquet next to her cockapoo, Bobby Rhubarb. Quote, "I married my dog for my 50th birthday. Bless," Lewis captioned the images she uploaded to X, formerly known as Twitter. One of the Polaroid images showed 2 rainbow-striped cakes. One read JL50, and the other said, "For better or for worse, I do." According to The Independent, Lewis invited close friends and family to the wedding. The outlet reported that her Postal Service bandmate, Ben Gibbard, attended the ceremony and sang "Such Great Heights" with Lewis. Lewis's friends, Morgan Nadler, Dave Shear, and Alex Greenwald, were also reportedly in attendance. In 2023, Lewis opened up to Rolling Stone about her adoption story with Bobby Rhubarb. "I was in a really rough spot," she explained, adopting her in her 40s. "I've been isolated for over a year, quarantining totally on my own, and I had to find things to get me out of the house. The truck provided that," Lewis said, referring to her 2021 song, Puppy and a Truck. Have you ever heard that song before?
Amazingly no, Brad. What's the name of this group?
Who knows? I don't have any...
Riley, Life of Riley. What's it called?
I don't have any kids, but this dog opened me up in so many ways. Being responsible for a soul and caring for something outside of yourself. It's been a really important lesson for me, Lewis continued. Kind of obvious, I guess, but I had no idea. I had fantasies of owning a white wolf. Instead, I ended up with a cockapoo. And you wonder why Western civilization is going into the toilet and why we have a negative population growth in the United States. It's because of this.
I think that as a white pill, so to speak, as a positive, uplifting thing to say, I would say that these sort of stories get a lot of attention because they're funny and they're novelty stories. And there's an element that women who are depressed and angry and chase their antidepressants with wine at the end of the night, they can say, that's right, men aren't nothing, I'd rather marry my dog too, and click the share button.
But
meanwhile, there are captivating, beautiful, intelligent women that are looking for a man to be strong, to be a real man, to put her in her place, to lead her through life, to give her what she needs when he wants to give it to her. And those women aren't going to marry a dog man. Those women are looking to meet a man who is strong, who is a real man, who can give her what she needs on a basic level, Brad. And so these stories are cute, but to be uplifting at the end of the show, real women are looking for real men.
John, I will unfortunately have to disagree with you. I don't think that's the case anymore. I think most women, to the point where they don't want a man. You know, I don't need a man. Who needs a man? I don't need a man.
I think if you scroll through social media, you would agree with Brad Hildebrand. And I think if you deal with the bottom feeders and you deal with angry, bitter, depressed, jaded women, then you're going to hear a lot of that, and you'd probably agree with Brad. That's right.
Well, look at the subject of the Minneapolis shooting last Friday. That woman had previously been married to a man, and still there's contradictions in that. Read some reports said she's a widow, other reports said she's divorced, so I don't know which one's which. But she decided that men were not for her, and she found that wonderful woman that said, "Drive, baby, drive,"
baby, drive.
And she did, and she's no longer with us. So maybe that was a wrong choice.
Way to end on an upbeat term, Brad. Congratulations for the first show in 5 days that we haven't talked about an old crabby lady that can't read a script without sounding like a robot. Congratulations to you, Brad.
Who's that?
I don't know. Is it somebody that's promoting a Lindenwood event?
Never mind.
Or excuse me, is it somebody that failed to promote a Lindenwood event until John Combest came along?
John,
yes, Brad, you are right.
I have one less friend in the world thanks to you, dude. That's all I can say.
Thank you, Brad, and I'm proud of what we did for that group and the fact that they're finally getting signups now. You're welcome, Nina.